Some movies shouldn't exist. Let's pretend they do. I'm Peter Hunter.
I'm Desmond Porch.
And I'm Scott Hedgehoe.
And welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Remake. This is the movie and comedy podcast where we take films that don't have a prequel, sequel, and remake, and we do what, Scott?
Well, we write and we perform a prequel, a sequel, and a remake, respectively, for that movie that does not have them, and in many cases probably should not.
Probably should not. And what are we doing this week, Desmond?
We're doing the hit 1996 classic, The Rock, starring... Who's
Nicholas
Cage,
Ed Harris.
Nicholas Cage, Ed Harris.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking triple threat.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm sorry, brain farted.
No, it's
okay.
quite all right.
You probably were thinking of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, as
No.
we often do when we hear the words The Rock.
No, I was thinking of Clint Eastwood, because he's in another Alcatraz movie.
Just get this out of the way right out of the gate. This movie's badass. It has explosions. All right.
There's a lot of
explosions, and this is a very special movie for me. It's near and dear to my heart because this is actually the first R-rated movie I saw as a child.
Aww.
Some of that good old Michael Bay. Yes, we should mention this was directed by Michael Bay. Some of that good old Michael Bay 90s violent action.
Probably top 2 Michael Bay movies.
I would say it's definitely easily my favorite of his movies.
I put Bad Boys up there too.
I don't think it's as cringy as Bad Boys. I think Bad Boys has a lot of really stupid humorous bits in it.
To be fair, I haven't seen Bad Boys in 10 years.
I don't know. You draw your own conclusions, but I'm gonna go with Scott. It's probably the best Michael Bay thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it just delivers as a movie. Going back to it, after all these years, even though I've seen it many times since, it's always a good one to throw on. It's just a decent movie, and it's got a good sympathetic villain, in a way where it's like, oh wow, I can actually understand where he's coming from completely.
Ed
wouldn't it have been
Harris,
easier to just pay the $100 million rather than no, we're gonna just risk the life of everyone in San Francisco, basically. Okay, wow, just good to know where your priorities are. You still won't admit that there's been a problem,
Yeah. No.
So I had never seen The Rock.
Really?
I thought I'd seen The Rock, but I hadn't seen The Rock. And it was a joy, absolute joy. Like Scott said with the villain, just totally sympathetic, and you're just immediately intrigued by him. Like the second he puts out his mission statement, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And you feel bad, and he doesn't want to hurt anyone.
No, he doesn't. They make a point of being non-lethal force, the whole all the way through.
I'm sure that makes sense because we've totally explained the premise of this movie.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
We should probably explain what The Rock is about. So basically, the gist of it is Ed Harris is a retired Special Forces Army major or general. I can't remember. It's general.
General.
I read it.
General Francis X. Hummel.
General
Brigadier
Hummel.
General. Yeah, Francis Hummel.
Recon.
Yeah, and he's pretty fed up with the fact that the U.S. government is doing all these secret wars and all of these special operations overseas, and soldiers are dying, and their families are not being compensated, and their memories are not being memorialized. Like a traditional war hero would be.
It's a big missing in action.
Yeah,
right?
Pure fiction. Let me just say that. Pure fiction. Okay.
It's oh yeah, I totally get that. You have a reasonable gripe. Good job. You might maybe going a little extreme by holding the entire city of San Francisco hostage with this weird nerve toxin that Nicolas Cage is an expert on.
Chemical weapons expert.
Yeah,
FBI.
His name is Stanley Goodspeed, which I hate his name so much.
That's easily probably the worst part of the movie. It's just good speed.
It's
oh, I see what you're kind of doing there. Yeah.
So basically,
good one.
Stanley Goodspeed
Writing.
and an ex special ops
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, who's been kind of unjustly thrown in jail for the past 30 years.
He's been Guantanamo'd.
Strongly suggested that he is actually his golden eye. I was going to say golden eye. His James Bond character from so many years
But
ago.
He's the only man to have ever escaped from Alcatraz, so they pull him out to break into Alcatraz to neutralize the gas and the bombs and take out the bad guys. The suggestion of him being Bond is pretty great. In my headcanon, that's the situation.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I have to say, It's so nice to see a Michael Bay movie with no CGI. Like, it's like, oh, this is what you can do if you have to hire stunt people and set up explosions and like set up actual like squibs and like real like fake blood coming out of. Like, oh, okay, Michael Bay. Okay, okay.
Yeah, man. There's characters. There's setups. Like Goodspeed's girlfriend Carla isn't really featured too heavily, but they set up that like they have a good relationship. She's pregnant. They're having a baby. And she nonchalantly comes with him to San Francisco on this job that he thinks nothing of, and she gets stuck in San Francisco, and the whole place is being held hostage with the awful gas, and it's like, he's got stakes in it. There's the daughter subplot with
I don't know,
Sean Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery's daughter.
What's his name?
It's good writing because overall all the characters' actions all of them are justified. Even towards the end when the bad guys start turning on each other, and Hummel's
Great
like,
scene.
this was a bluff, and it's like the other guys, well, I don't think it was a bluff, or something like that, and it's just great because then it adds another complexity. It's like, okay, wow, so no, like this. So as far as R-rated movies to start with, this is the best one you can. So I say if you're gonna show your child an R-rated movie, start with The Rock. It turned out well for me. Look at me now. Look at me now.
Look at you with a semi-successful podcast.
I mean, you can look at me on my podcast while I'm speaking these words out loud, right? You can see. Can't you see me? In the TV.
It's a joy seeing young Raymond Cruz of Breaking Bad fame, Tuco, Salamanca.
Tons of people that are in this movie.
Bokeem Woodbine, who he's been a character actor, been around forever. Recently, he was in the second season of Fargo. Mike Milligan. Yeah, he was great.
Lots of great character actors. Tony Todd, famously, he plays Death in the Final Destination movies.
He's also Candyman?
He's also Candyman, John C.
That movie's
John C. McGinley.
Terrifying.
Dr. Cox, John C. McGinley. Oh, yeah, the Candyman?
Dude.
The Candyman.
I found that just like, I watched that as an adult, like after buying this VHS.
Did you block that from your memory a little bit?
Because I never saw it as a kid.
It's a frightening movie.
But there's definitely some very odd moments in there. Like, okay.
It's called fucking Scary Movie. In Hollywood, you should do that again.
Yeah. It's also White Privilege, the movie.
Oh, I don't remember that.
No, there's a whole
like
gentrification thing. And
is there now?
And then like she like is like I don't want to get into heavy spoilers, but basically she gets off on parole for a crime that like would land anybody in jail for a very long time. That might just be a continuity thing more than a comment on race in America.
I highly doubt. At that time it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, those things become glaringly obvious, like as time passes. Like Ferris Bueller's a total fucking psycho.
I'd say he's a sociopath, not a psychopath.
It is interesting to see, which things depreciate over time and which ones hold their value. And The Rock holds its value, but like we were discussing, at least in our humble opinions, Austin Powers isn't holding up at all.
Oh yeah, a little precast round table. Austin Powers, nay.
Rewatching the exact same scenes, well. I remember them exactly the same. It's just not doing it. You know what I mean? Not turning the crank here.
The Rock is like
laughter.
It's like Better True Lies. In terms of that like 90s terrorist type movie thing.
I can dig that. Or Air Force One.
Yeah, very
better Air Force
There's a
One.
whole string of these kinds of movies, and that's one thing that the 90s was definitely known for. I mean, almost any movie ended up turning into like some kind of blockbuster explosion fest, And
that whole chase through the streets of San Francisco.
Oh my God.
That's probably the most gratuitous Michael Bay thing in the movie. Just it's sort of like Sean Connery escapes from captivity of the FBI to go visit his daughter, Clara Forlani. I think that's how you say her name. Mystery Men? Morat's girl. He does it at the tail end of this huge chase where he wrecks half of San Francisco. Just like, what, you think you're casually... You think you get time to talk to her here?
Oh, man. There's a trivia. So the guy who gets his Ferrari stolen from him in this movie also gets a car stolen from him in another movie by Damn it! I wish I knew the whole.
By
trivia
Nicolas
on that one.
Cage, maybe, because he was in.
Yeah, by
Gone
Nicolas Cage
66.
and his in National Treasure or National Treasure 2 or something like
Okay.
that. Anyway, it was like, oh, cool. You get to have both of those scenes and you're real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm good at getting cars stolen from me.
Yeah, I would say that a big piece of this is fiction from this is it's midday San Francisco. The streets are very empty,
Oh yeah,
completely
yeah.
empty. But it's a super fun, obviously, like you said, super gratuitous car chase scene. Other super fun. I mean, the whole once they get into the rock, the whole it's the
Becomes
last
Escape
hour.
from New York.
Yeah, it's pretty much Escape from compartmentalized Escape from New York. Sean Connery is kind of a badass, which is super weird because he looks like he's 90, like he's looked for the last 20 years.
I've lost all my sex appeal.
Sex appeal.
So yeah, no,
Yeah, and Alcatraz itself. I mean, it's a character. I don't know if you've seen it, but they've been running ads on TV for it now. It's like, it used to be a prison, and now it's a tourist destination. Like, okay, what is this weird? Like, I've had the privilege of working on a music video on Alcatraz once, and it was 2 consecutive night shoots in a row, which is kind of brutal, but and lots of seagull noises. But
There's a lot of birds.
it's a prison. You know what I mean? Like,
People fucking died horribly here.
Yeah. I don't get
That's real.
I don't get the appeal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't. But hey, there's a mystique to that.
I guess we're just fucking demolish it and put something cool.
Yeah.
Some would
if
say
you
the
had,
prison's cool. I guess that's probably pretty fucking
But if
outlandish
you
to most
It's
people.
a historical site
retrofitted
at this
it
point.
to be just like a really cool ride, like the whole way through, because there's lots of scenes in the movies where they're going in these like underwater caverns, and with those parts, I have to believe that those are not actually at the Rock. You know,
No,
what I mean?
no, that'd
that's
be
you gotta
so-
do sound studio. You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
no way you're filming in the wild, just in the
Also-
bay.
Also, there's no way there's that crap underneath the Alcatraz.
Yeah, there's a whole Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom,
Right.
fucking, minecart Donkey Kong level.
that'd be badass.
It is badass. There's like a foundry in this place or something.
Yeah, there's just like a rotating thing spewing like fire.
It's
and
like
just
a-
like intervals. It's like,
Yeah,
what is you're using that for regularly?
Welcome to the Rock.
Sweet, and yes, welcome to the Rock.
A couple behind the scenes things I want to hit on before we do our wrap up here. The writers for this movie went on to write 2 movies. Those movies are Double Jeopardy, which you might remember is another crappy action movie from the 90s, and Holy Matrimony, which is some sort of terrible rom-com. And one of the writers also guested on an episode of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I actually remembered this episode. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good season overall. Andy wrote a song on the Garden State soundtrack.
Well,
Okay.
hey, multi-faceted dude,
Yeah.
Garden State's awesome.
Do you really believe that, Desmond? Okay.
So I think we're all safely giving this movie a thumbs up, right?
Yeah, big 2 thumbs way up. I say watch it now. It's maybe I just avoided these conversations, but I feel like it should be brought up in any quintessential 90s action movie conversation.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely crack open a couple beers, watch it with your friends.
It's long, but it didn't feel that way.
Oh, one more thing we gotta hit on is this soundtrack is badass.
yeah, it's
The
a good
whole way
score.
through. It's just like classic Hans Zimmer, It's like,
Yeah.
It was Hans Zimmer, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no! Like let me just get a quick aside. The entire time I was editing Shark Tale, I was like wanting to just be listening to the soundtrack to The Rock, and I'm like, the time will come, and here it is now.
Your time is now.
The time is now.
Yeah.
Future me has seen to that.
So it's not the last Nicolas Cage we'll cover because there's so much great Cage.
Right. He's ripe for the picking. But yeah, Scott, you endorse this movie.
I endorse
obviously.
this, and I also endorse things that don't depreciate over time. And I'm going to do one quick plug as a complete aside right now. If you enjoy things that don't depreciate over time, you should check out the King Tut exhibit down at the California Science Center in LA, which I recently had the opportunity to check out.
wow.
This is going to be the last time it is going to tour the world before finally resting back in Cairo in
wow.
Egypt. So check it out. It's immaculate
Fucking
and
nuts.
amazing how old these items are. And like, you know, you see pictures of stuff of this like throughout your life, but like to actually see the things in real life is like mind blowing because there's so much detail.
Yeah.
There's so much like
It's crazy.
craftsmanship, and it's just crazy amazing. So if you happen to find yourself down in LA before next January, I think, so it's there for a little bit,
Yeah.
I'd say check it out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Go appreciate some real stuff.
It
Not
is
stupid
culture.
fucking movies.
Some real culture.
Yeah, that's great. That stuff's fascinating.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
far, and super bizarre to see in the flesh, I'm sure.
The relics, you know, and
Yeah, that's the best word for it. Like The Relic, another great film.
which has a sequel, if I'm right.
Sure, it f***ing does.
It might,
Yeah.
it might,
Night
it
Museum.
might not.
Yeah,
I might
I
be
was-
thinking of another movie that's like similar to that and also set
just-
mostly in a museum.
It's just going to be so hard for us to do horror movies. We're going to have to do them when they come out. 'Cause
So,
yeah.
Let's ask our lovely fans who have been nothing but kind to us and,
Yeah.
just spreading the love. If you know a horror movie that isn't milked to death, I know that's hard, let us know because
Yeah.
we want to cover it because we all like horror. And
Yeah.
you probably do too.
Yeah,
Unless
if
you're a
you're-
little
I'm
punk ass.
I'm like throwing my hat in the ring for It Follows. I just think maybe we should do that in the future, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think
that's
that's
a
great.
great fucking
That's,
you know.
that's one we can do. Yeah, I'm into that.
a lot more fucking sex.
Yeah.
you know, you write whatever
the
your
whole-
heart,
yeah.
you know, drives you to. Des.
Freaking that one kid getting cucked.
All right. Well, if you do have a suggestion, if you're listening on Anchor, send us a voice message with your suggestion. We might play it on the air if we like it, or we might just listen to it and treasure it. Either way.
We just love that people are engaging.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, as creators of people who have made lots of stuff, it's always good to get some engagement. You know, that's why we make the things, you know,
Yeah.
for people to enjoy and
Yeah.
cherish
Yeah.
alongside ourselves.
All right. Well, if we're talking about cherishing and engaging, we gotta give them what they came for.
Right.
Which is the prequel, which is penned this
What if
time.
that wasn't it? What if they came for the the story
preamble.
banter?
Yeah,
and now
right.
they're, what if? What if
I,
they didn't?
I have analytics
Don't-
that prove otherwise.
Click.
Don't generalize people. Don't put people in fucking boxes, Peter.
So Scott, that was a lovely lead into your prequel. Prequel
Yeah.
time for
Prequel
Scott.
time. Prequel
to
time
the
for
Rock.
me. All right.
Scott for the Rock.
Boulder. The Rock story. Tagline. It's the prequel to The Rock.
All right, frankness, I appreciate it.
Directed by Michael Bay
Okay.
and Joey Tribbiani.
Oh my God. Oh dear. Wait. Okay.
The year is 1991. Outside Baghdad, an elite group of reconnaissance Marines use their spy gear and night cameras to observe what they are told to be a chemical weapons facility. The voice of their commander, General Francis X. Hummel, cracks over the radio.
Do we have eyes on the target? Sir, yes, sir. The building appears to be civilian, sir. Could it be any more of a civilian building?
Says Commander Bing, as played by Matthew Perry.
Oh, Commander Bing.
Oh no!
Oh God, this is like sentence 4.
Yeah.
Could I be any more fucked up?
Negative, Commander Bing. What you are witnessing is an elaborate front, my friend. We have intel from the least trustworthy sources in D.C. that a chemical weapons depot is located within that facility. Orders are to move forward and confirm the target. Gotcha.
Commander Bing turns to his recon team.
Nice camouflage. For a minute there, I almost didn't see you.
Oh. I like didn't. I'll save it for later, but
Just didn't think it would go this way. But that's the fun of this show, isn't it, audience? Isn't it?
Hey, I didn't know it was going to go this way, you know? We're just going to
life
see.
never. So no one told you life was gonna be this way.
Yeah.
He started
Stop it.
He brought the devil into this podcast.
And he's a cool guy.
Is he, though?
Yeah. Yeah. He's yeah.
All right, moving on.
All right, we're gonna keep doing the movie here. The recon team moves forward and positions themselves outside the door,
We ready to do this, buddy?
says Colonel Legs, as played by John Leguizamo.
Hey!
Oh yeah, lock And load.
Oh God. Oh my God.
The door is kicked down. Medical staff and injured civilians begin to panic,
Stay calm. We're only here to probably kill you.
says Commander Bing, shortly before clocking a pregnant old lady in the head with the butt of his rifle.
Could I be committing any more of a war crime? Commander Bing, proceed to the basement as planned. Okay, men, spread out. Find the basement. Over here, right over here. Inside the stairwell, there's some stairs, and it looks like they descend into the basement.
Screams Captain Obvious, as played by Raymundo from Rocket Power.
Oh my God. We are riders on a mission.
Raymundo!
Great job, Raymundo. Now only if you could stop being such a washed-up father figure. I always thought I was Cool-a-Rooney. If by Cool-a-Rooney you mean deadbeat piece of shit, then yeah, you're Cool-a-Rooney, Raymundo.
You want a burger joint on the fucking boardwalk? He's a single father taking care of 2 kids, man. Being hella harsh.
No. There's a great article I found online that just like lays it out. It's like, no, he is like deadbeat dad. He's only there when like they're doing this extreme sports. These kids, their lives are in danger all the time. Like just anyway, I'll let you look it up for yourself. But it makes a great point.
You don't want to see what the rockets look like now. We'll tat it up.
Yeah.
The same because they're drawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, can we stop with the chit-chat? We got a critical mission going on here.
The recon team descends the stairs into the basement. After muscling past hospital staff in full scrubs, they make their way into a dark room.
Let's light this bitch up.
Screams that guy from Prodigy who lights a flare but manages to catch himself on fire and burn to death.
Oh!
I would have just used a flashlight, but that works.
The recon team tears the room apart, opening every drawer, but nothing resembling a weapon can be found, except a few pairs of nail clippers.
Oh my gosh.
Radical, sir. There's dead bodies everywhere in here. I mean, it's a morgue, so that's to be expected. But still, way grosiente, Commander Bingo.
I'm surprised you got through that line.
Oh my God. Is he in the whole movie, Scott?
I'm sorry. This was a mistake. This is a mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh,
This movie
no.
never should have been made.
It was like a Roger Rabbit thing. Like Raymundo's just lots of time was put into Raymundo starring in this.
Look, we're gonna get through this. I'm fully aware this is a travesty of a script.
This is hilarious.
Yeah. Keep going, man.
Good footy.
rocket powering
Yeah,
through.
but I just want to. I apologize.
Don't apologize. This is hilarious. Don't stop.
Also, I don't know if you're really sorry.
You doubt my sincerity, Peter.
You're gonna keep reading it, aren't you?
I said it in a sincere way. All right. F it, we're going on.
What's the status, Commander Bing? Have you found the weapons? Oh yeah, there's chemical weapons everywhere, sir. So many of them, they just must be completely invisible. Damn it, it's worse than I thought. You know, this may not be the best time to make sarcastic comments. Sir, I found a radio, and it's playing some sweet Sublime-like music. We should all hang 10, catch a few sets of waves, brah. Well, give it here then.
A familiar voice crackles over the radio.
Who am I speaking to right now? Well, that would be Commander Bing, sir. And you must be the ghost in a shell. Can you just, patch me through to your commanding officer or something? Okay, then.
A younger General Hummel, Ed Harris's character from The Rock, as played by Viggo Mortensen, gets on the intercom in his tent, taking his headset off.
You're gonna forever die on this hill that Viggo Mortensen and Ed Harris are the same person.
That one picture is pretty
they're different people, but they look really similar.
when they want to.
Yeah.
This is General Hummel. Ah, Mr. Dogtective. So good to hear your voice.
I hear you brought this up before we actually had to talk about this.
Oh, yeah, you
Scott-
gotta slide it in there.
I'll let Scott explain.
Yeah.
So continue.
I hear you were looking for some chemical weapons, is that not so? Well, your men might have arrived a few minutes too late. My crew left the city with the precious cargo hours ago. So I guess by minutes, I mean hours.
It's a number of minutes.
Who am I speaking to right now? You might have heard of me before. Name's Troy. Castor Troy.
Oh! That's what I'm f***ing talking about. That's that cross-pollination shit.
Yeah.
I'm into that. It always
That's
works.
good expanded universe.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Damn it, Troy. What are your demands? Well, it's very simple, Hummel. You pay me $100 million and, a certain city you know and love doesn't catch one hell of a cold later this week. And by cold, I mean, the death and such. You know that won't work, Castor Troy. The United States never negotiates with terrorists. Only the ones they themselves train and arm. But even then, still, they don't. Sort of.
Hummel dropping truth bombs, as always. Ugh.
Oh, I'm not negotiating with the United States, Hummel. I'm negotiating with you alone. Unless you want certain documents revealing your involvement in the Chinese Black Ops leaked to the press. You son of a bitch.
Sounds like George Bush, Castor Troy here. I don't know.
Well, funny thing about that.
Oh, no.
No,
no.
there's no connection.
Okay.
Kill that right
Okay.
now.
You son of a bitch. Like the press would even run that story. Well, think about it, Hummel. I'll call you tomorrow once you've slept on it. Oh, and by now your jets should have been scrambled to bomb that hospital your men have occupied. I sent a dummy signal on your behalf. The fools at the Pentagon will never know the difference. I used this cool voice changer I picked up at Spencer's Gifts. I can do male, female, or robot voice. I'd say you have about 3 minutes to evacuate your men from the hospital, General Hummel. The same 3 minutes you gave me. What does that mean, sir?
Says Private Parts, as played by Howard Stern.
It means we have 1 minute. Wow, I thought it meant show me your tatas.
Oh, man. Just such a range of emotions, Scott.
That's what I'm going for here.
I love
Yeah.
it. I just wasn't expecting it. Wasn't expecting it.
And I'm honest here. Neither was I. General Hummel scrambles to get on the other line,
All air units, stand down. Stand down.
but it's too late. One of the fighter jets has already deployed a bomb. Luckily, the bomb is a fluke and not active, hitting the side of the hospital with a dull thud and dropping to the ground, sparing countless innocent lives.
Commander Bing, do you read me? I'm still alive. I'm still alive. How on earth am I still alive? And will Monica ever truly love me for who I really am?
I'm regretting this. I don't care.
Oh, you keep reading.
Another voice comes on the radio.
Second airstrike inbound. Smart bomb has been deployed. This is General Francis Hummel. I'm ordering you to stand down. Target is a civilian building. I've got my men in there. Negative, General. This is your commanding officer, FBI Director Womack. Our smart bomb has already been deployed. It's gonna make one hell of a headline, Hummel. The building has to be destroyed. Because war.
The general gets on the other line to his recon team.
Commander Bing, move your men out of the building immediately. Oh, really? I was just really starting to like this place. The ambiance of death is just so comforting. You know, Commander, I've always loved you like a buddy.
The recon team rushes to escape the building. They barely make it out of the door when the second bomb hits, sending shrapnel and concrete dust everywhere. Raymundo's legless body is seen riding a killer wave of fire across the desert. Except it's not even funny. It's just sad.
Jesus Christ.
Somewhere in the Pentagon, General Hummel is debriefed by FBI Director Womack.
What happened to my men is a travesty, sir. That building should have never been blown up. Do I have your word that the families of the soldiers will be compensated?
FBI Director Womack, as played by Larry David, reclines in his chair with his arms behind his head.
Compensated? Oh yeah, no, totally. They're gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it. In fact, because you brought it up, I'm gonna do you one better. I will personally deliver the reimbursement checks to each and every family member. You have my word. Now onto this Castor Troy business. Now you know, I know, that we both know there might have been some illegal operations in China. And yes, we were monitoring your phone calls. I mean, it's 1991, come on. What? Do you think we just invented this shit to not spy on everyone? Come on. Anywho, he has the weapons. We have the money. We make the deal. He doesn't go to the press. Lots of people get to live. Everybody wins, yeah? Well, sir, if you think that's the best course of action, well, I do have a slight problem with that. Now, I know this is unrelated, but hear me out. Okay. So 2 years ago, Castor Troy and I were at the same poker game. He turns to me and says, he's a little light. Could I spare him the buy-in? And of course, I didn't want to. I mean, what kind of man comes to the poker game with no money for the buy-in? Well, he says, I was running late. I couldn't get to the ATM. And swears up and down, I'll pay you back. I'll pay you back. Well, one Castor Troy ends up losing big time that night. Big time. And a day goes by, a couple days, weeks, a couple years. I never see that buy-in money, Hummel. I never see it. And now here we are. He's asking me for more money. And to me, it seems like I'd be paying him off just to have him pay me off, which is a terrible deal for me, right? So you can see how I'm a little apprehensive about making the deal, right? Sir, millions of innocent lives are on the line. I think we need to at least see what he's willing to offer. Nah. I think we have a better plan. Let me introduce you to Agent 770, J.M. Braun. You mean James Bond? No, I don't. I mean J.M. Braun, secret agent and UK national.
James Gum.
Me? I can't stand the guy. But you? Maybe you'll like him. Now you and him are gonna break into Castor Troy's compound and steal the weapons back because, it'll be a fun mission.
Agent 770 steps out of the shadows. He walks forward several paces, then turns and shoots.
Womack! Whoa, what the fuck, man? You almost shot me in the head. Yeah, sure, maybe next time you'll, something the Rock or something.
Go home, Sean Connery. You're drunk.
Who said that?
Sean Connery wobbles in his young old age because he's playing a drunk young version of himself as a drunk old man. Something, vodka martini.
General Womack, I accept your premise for a movie, and I raise you one better. I'm resigning, effective immediately. I can't support the war machine any longer, no matter what the consequences are. What I'm saying is, you deal with it.
We flash forward to 2 months later. Somewhere in Boulder, Colorado, Francis Hummel opens his mailbox and sorts through his bills. He's living the quiet life now. His neighbor, one Mitch Mitchelson, approaches him from across the fence.
Hey, Francis, just wanted to let you know that the missus and I are going to be doing a bit of landscaping, and we were talking about it, and this giant rock has just got to go, unfortunately, for our plans, to make our plans work. So, we're getting rid of it. Now, hold on a minute, Mitch. This rock is about 60% on my property, and I like this rock. I don't want you to destroy it. Right. That's all well and good. But I've had my property line lawyer look at it, and it's clearly closer to 40% on your property. So I hate to do this, but, cucked as I am in my own household, but I'm sorry, but the rock has to go, okay? Over my dead body.
The following afternoon, as bulldozers or something make their way to the rock to remove it from the property, their wheels are busted open by sniper fire. Mitch Mitchelson walks into the sniper fire and holds his arms up like Gustavo Fring of Breaking Bad, because references. General Hummel stares down the barrel at Mitchelson.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
God damn it. God damn it.
And he pulls the trigger. The end. Or is it? And it's the end.
Yay! Another amazing tale from our own resident Scott Hanshoe.
Smash cut to She Drives Me Crazy by the Fine Young Cannibals.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you maybe got something out of that.
Yeah, you definitely. It wasn't the references that sent me over the edge. It was just the mixture of it.
It was
Chandler Bing.
it was a stew of unrelated things.
I mean,
in a premise that made sense.
but who was the private? Who was the private parts character? You didn't go deep enough into him.
Wow.
I didn't really feel his depth.
Oh, yeah.
It's just Howard Stern being a stupid
Show me your boobs.
shock jock.
Oh yeah, say that again. Oh.
Tatas. Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I like how you explored, like, basically the whole motivation of Francis Hummel, going into The Rock. And that was cool. I hate Chandler Bing as a character so much. And he just reminded me how powerfully I hate him.
Well, good.
I was dying at the Larry David as Womack thing. Was that like actually taken from an actual Curb?
Oh, no.
Okay, that's
just
you did a good job.
Mimicking the Curb.
It read as a
You
Curb.
mimicked it fine because I was like, is this actually from an episode?
Yeah, it read as an episode.
But like,
Curb,
man,
definitely.
that's hella funny. I want to see that movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, so I'll go into a little more detail on my process on this one. So originally I had the
Castor Troy as well.
Oh yeah, the face-off time.
Castor Troy is the prequel, sequel, remake Joker. He's interweaving in everywhere.
And it made sense to me
universe.
there because, original movie is triple threat. I needed triple threat for this one. And who better but Nicolas Cage himself, to be that guy.
That's very good you say that. That's a very important aspect that I probably neglected. You made a fucking quadruple threat.
It's
good.
but what I'll
It's
say
your
is
creative
that
space, Desmond.
I based it, loosely somewhat on real events, which then made it kind of really like too sad at times because I was like, because what I did for the Face Off movie was I went into the text of the movie and I went into a speech and it's like, okay, so what's some kind of smart bombing thing that happened outside of Afghanistan? It's like, oh yeah, well here's a really infamous one. It's like, and then it just so where I'll make one caveat for a sincere apology is it's that was a terrible real event and I don't want to make light of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is the part where probably you got that weird mixture of feels because it's like, here's this ridiculous comedy thing and then that's not funny at all.
Absolutely. We don't. I mean, we don't truly endorse any of the violent things we joke about.
No.
No,
Yeah.
stupid stories based on stupid movies that are.
So I should go over the stats a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Read off the stats.
Figure out what this got. So the budget was 5,000 smackaroos.
What's that in American dollars?
It's if you have to ask. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's not for you.
Oh.
You know?
No, I see.
Exclusive.
Rotten Tomatoes score. Critics score 63%. Audience score 69%.
Nice.
My son really liked the explosions. I thought the property line dispute was adequate.
Says some guy from test audience B.
A truly reprehensible mockery of the Gulf War travesty, but still less reprehensible than war itself.
Says a real person somewhere out there.
What a ridiculous waste of Cage!
Says Cage Fan 420 online somewhere. Expected gross profit 10,000 fathoms. Actual gross profit 20,000 leagues under the sea. It was a box office hit.
That's good to hear.
Under the sea, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Hell yeah.
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 all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Great job, man.
yeah,
Thank you.
That's a great way to kick us off.
Yeah. And moving right along. Thank you, Scott. Peter, what you got in the sequel department?
Oh, well, I've got a sequel, my friend. Sequel. Title: The Rock 2: Fist of Independence. Tagline: Get ready to roll. Alternate tagline: Bolder than the first.
Ooh.
That's clever. That's good, dude.
Yeah, that's a pun that was right there in front of me.
Man,
I
I'm
didn't
pleased.
realize
And
that
did
that
you
was
spell
a
it
pun.
with the U?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Directed by, produced by WWE Studios.
Oh yeah.
Because they buy properties like this and make sequels to it.
For Randy Couture or some shit.
It's not Randy Couture, but you'll see. All right. Synopsis. Midday. The rotunda of the National Archives Building, Washington, D.C. The day is unremarkable, really. Tourists gawk at the United States' most precious documents. Guides assist patrons in lead tours. Several middle schoolers circle the exhibits looking for a covert spot to vape. In the center sits the grandest exhibit of them all, the one which many a soul has journeyed all the way to the nation's capital to gaze upon, the Declaration of Independence. Standing in front of it, unmoved, is now disgraced FBI chemical agent specialist Stanley Goodspeed, as portrayed by John Cena. A tour guide approaches Mr. Goodspeed.
Hello, sir. Do you have any questions about the document? Oh, I understand a great deal about this document. Probably more than you ever could.
Godspeed scoffs.
I understand that it says all men are endowed with certain inalienable rights. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But only one that doesn't encroach upon the United States government's absolute right to power.
Suddenly, several men in black approach the exits. Chains rustle from their hands and quickly circle the doors, locking everyone inside.
Tell me, what's your name? My name? It's a funny story. It's actually Arnold Palmer.
Suddenly, Goodspeed withdraws a pistol from his pocket and executes the guard with a single bolt to the head.
Well, drink that in, Mr. Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, hell yeah. You got hella puns. Sweet.
Like an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah. Wow.
The crowd starts screaming hysterically. Elderly couples grip each other tightly. A teenager immediately starts filming this for Snapchat and gleefully shouts about how many followers this will score him. Goodspeed informs the huddled masses that the archives are now under his control. Anyone who stays calm and doesn't start trouble will be fine. Anyone who gets in the way will be killed on sight. A few men in black tie up the crowd. A particularly burly strongman, Chud, as portrayed by Dave Bautista, runs to Goodspeed's side.
Where are the charges? They're already in place. Give me the word and we'll fill the nation's capital with Toxic's nerve agent. Do we have a link set up? The comm is yours.
Goodspeed steps in front of a fancy-looking monitor which was set up off-screen and warrants no further explanation. He speaks into the intercom.
Hello. Get me the FBI.
FBI Director Fist Puncher, as portrayed by Ric Flair, is stirred from his bed by the sound of a rotary phone ringing, even though we've already established that it's midday where he is, because there's literally no other way to introduce an FBI director in a movie like this.
This better be good. Chief, you might want to turn on the news.
Fist Puncher rolls out of bed, exposing his now droopy chest, which is the natural result of what happens to pectoral muscles once a man hits his mid to late 70s. He turns on a nearby TV to reveal that little twerp Snapchat video from earlier. After a few seconds from watching, Puncher picks up the rotary phone.
God damn it, I'm on my way in.
Rotary phone.
Yeah, it's gotta be a rotary.
It's gotta be a rotary phone.
It's a classic shot.
They look good, and they look better than a cell phone in a movie.
They look like they would wake you up.
But here, honestly, I will say, if it's going to be a cell phone, it has to be like a 2001 flip phone for it to be
It has to have
effective.
heft.
Like, I get so mad seeing like smartphones in movies. It's
Yeah.
like, be a little fucking like soap bar up to your. It doesn't look good. Same with TVs. It's got to be like an old
CRT.
like CRT TV.
Something with the knobs
You
and
gotta have
the
knobs, just
antenna.
like a
Yeah, the
square.
rabbit ears. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Height of picture quality. Rabbit ears.
Yeah, gotta love graininess. All right.
Actually, I do.
Love graininess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
there's a charm to it. And
Yeah.
there's a type of thing that works for it. It's a lot of the times the old movies that would have the grain.
I was talking about food.
Oh,
Oh, well, yeah, bread is great.
Yeah, but also movies and VHS.
I would prefer something like this or Face Off on a VHS tape. I would like almost
Oh,
want to
it
watch
is
it
better.
that way.
It is better.
But like some new like fucking Pixar thing, I want like.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Sorry.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. That wasn't part of it. That was just improvised. Back at FBI headquarters, Stanley Goodspeed can be seen on a giant monitor. He demands that all government secrets be released to the public in the next 24 hours. Otherwise, he'll release a deadly neurotoxin all throughout Washington, D.C., killing countless civilians.
All government secrets.
All government secrets, yes.
So broad.
It's a general audience action movie. It can't be too specific.
Well, I mean, what good's a secret, when you tell everybody? Then it wouldn't be a secret anymore.
We'll get into that, Scott.
And don't try any Black Ops maneuvers on me.
Goodspeed reveals a detonator attached to a heart monitor on his chest. If he's killed before the 24 hours are up, the charges will automatically detonate. Puncher sits down at a desk behind him and pulls an already poured glass of bourbon from one of the drawers. He takes a long swig.
What are our options? We think we can send a small task force of agents into the underbelly of the archives. 10 tops. Only problem is what? Well, with the humidity control in the archives, firing a single round risks compromising any of the nation's most valuable documents. Can't we just replace them with that crap from the gift shop? You're not seriously suggesting replacing priceless documents with that 35-cent piece of paper. I don't know. Are you seriously suggesting going after a terrorist armed with government secrets and hundreds of kilos of nerve agent with our bare hands?
Puncher takes another swig of bourbon and points to some lackey by his side.
I need your 9 best hand-to-hand agent stat, and get my vest ready. Sir, you're going along?
Fist Puncher gets in his face and yells.
Woo!
The agents scatter. One steps to the FBI director's side.
Sir, we always have that option. I know, but let's pray it never comes to that.
Cut to a cheesy montage of FBI agents getting outfitted with brass knuckles, body armor, nunchucks, whatever, man. It's cool. Set to Real American, Hulk Hogan's absurdly cheesy theme song during the 1980s and early 2000s. Among them are WWE superstars Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Becky Lynch, and of course, Ric Flair's real-life daughter, Charlotte Flair. Fist Puncher recites an impassioned speech about American values and how Stanley Goodspeed is a good man turned wrong or something, but I don't think any of you want to hear that, especially from the septuagenarian mouth of Ric Flair. The troops head to the basement of the National Archives via fighter jet because that's real cinematic, boys.
You're doing good.
Thank you. Back in the archives, the teens are still Snapchatting their imminent peril, though at this point you can't really blame them for wanting to document the most significant moment of their lives. Possibly last moment of their lives, if we're being frank. Other tourists are absolutely hysterical. They got some A+ extras for this day of shooting. Dave Bautista goes up to Goodspeed.
They're underneath the building. Then my time is now.
Cut to the building's underbelly. The agents are slowly crawling up ancient rope ladders because if National Treasure taught us anything, the foundation of any government building is actually an ancient catacomb. As Fist Puncher reaches the top rung of the ladder, half of it collapses below him. All the agents who aren't portrayed by the wrestlers I named earlier plummet to their death. The rest of the crew quickly catapults themselves to the top of the ladder. Suddenly, a dozen totally yoked dudes appear. It's time for a brawl. The agents engage in a series of trademarked wrestling moves that would be completely illogical given the setting and circumstances, but, branding. The men are quickly dispatched, and the crew proceeds to enter the National Archives. Goodspeed sees them enter, and sends Bautista down after them. He leaps from the top rotunda down to the ground floor in a total John Woo moment. Birds everywhere.
Hell yes.
Yeah. The agents usher Director Fist Puncher onward. They'll handle the big guy. Bautista quickly snaps the neck of Dean Ambrose and sends Seth Rollins hurtling into the rafters behind him. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair start tagging him from either side, not letting him get too close, but not doing enough damage to subdue him. Becky delivers a scissor kick to his face and he staggers for a moment. She goes for a second scissor kick, but he scouts it this time and snaps her leg at the knee, disabling her completely. While Bautista is momentarily distracted, Charlotte Flair puts him in the figure 8 leg lock. That's the figure 4 leg lock, but it's figure 8 now. It's double. Bautista can't deal with the pain, but unfortunately, since this isn't a sanctioned sports entertainment match as brought to you by WWE exclusively on the WWE network, he can't tap out. So he just passes out from horrible, horrible pain. Meanwhile, Fist Puncher has caught up to Goodspeed.
Time to give it up, Goodspeed. Not until you give up those secrets. Why are you so obsessed with these government secrets, Goodspeed? You used to be a good agent. Why? Why? Those secrets ruined my life, and countless more before me. My wife left me. My child won't speak to me, and you are responsible. Those secrets keep America safe, Stanley. There's no price on that.
Stanley grabs his cell phone from one of the nearby teens.
Secrets don't exist anymore, Director. We give them away freely. Why should the government be any different than its citizens? Because we need to protect those citizens. Well, you won't be able to much longer.
Goodspeed removes his shirt. Fist Puncher, reminder 70-year-old Ric Flair, removes his as well. The two proceed to bare knuckle box. The sound of bone crunching and blood spattering is seriously uncomfortable.
It's like really happening. It's not like simulated.
No, they're
really brawling on
beating
camera.
each other. They're method. They're method when it comes to beating each other. Puncher starts bleeding from the top of his forehead. Goodspeed gets one of his eyes caved in. Stanley finally gains the advantage, trips Puncher, and grabs him by the throat. But the other two agents catch up with Goodspeed and order him to release the director. However, he manages to grab one of the teens and puts them in a lethal sleeper hold.
Tell them about the secrets, Director. I can't tell them about the secrets. Let the kid go. Tell them. We don't have any.
He spits blood out of his mouth. The whole room gasps.
Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK. The moon landing actually happened, and 9/11 wasn't an inside job. We all know that the bullet trajectory easily matches Oswald's position at the book depository. The shadows and foreground imaging in the moon landing footage couldn't possibly be faked even by the theoretically most state-of-the-art film equipment of the late 1960s, and then jet fuel actually does burn hot enough to melt steel beams. But that's not the point. Then what's the point, Director? The point is that we need the enemy to think we can make it all happen. Look around the FBI office. We're still using rotary phones and fax machines. We don't have a goddamn clue what we're doing. That fear is the only thing keeping America safe. What good is keeping America safe if it's betraying that?
Goodspeed points to the Declaration of Independence. Real American starts playing again softly in the background. Fist Puncher looks closely at the agent portrayed by his daughter in some sort of terrible callback to Sean Connery and his daughter in the first movie. But it's only significant to the audience because they know they're related. That's never established in the movie. Fist Puncher removes a walkie-talkie from his belt.
Deploy the package. Sir? You heard me.
He shuts off the walkie.
Size.
Goodspeed releases the teen and makes for the exit.
Sir, shouldn't we go after him? No, that's all right. He deserves his freedom. There's one thing I don't understand, sir. Go ahead. It seems like you gave in to his demands pretty easily. Kid, you always have an ace in the hole for situations like this.
Cut to the White House press room. Reporters from every major outlet are present. The room is abuzz with news of a major announcement from the President of the United States. Emerging from the back is Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who takes the podium.
I have a statement from the President of the United States.
Fade to black. Roll credits.
But what? Who was found?
Yay!
Wrestling.
That fucking sound felt like a goddamn WWE production movie.
Very on theme.
Yeah, very. Yeah,
Yes.
I love what you could tell. There was a nugget of inspiration there for you, and it was that. You watch, what, the Triple H movie or something, The Chaperone.
I've watched a couple of WWE movies
fucked
with
up
Scott
terrible.
and Rita before, and they're not good.
No, they're awful.
Their best movie is actually the Leprechaun sequel they produced, only because it is
Which one
slightly
was
better.
that?
It's the most recent one, and it's like actually a serious horror movie, but it's like, actually, you know what? Oculus was WWE Studios.
Dude,
That was pretty good.
Wait.
Oculus was
Is
pretty
Warwick
good.
Davis in the new one?
No. They got, oh my god, they got...
Why the fuck did that?
Okay, so
that's like his thing.
the Leprechaun's like a monster in it. It's not like the Leprechaun, but they do get this wrestler who used to portray a tiny leprechaun. And God, what's his name? Oh my God.
Seamus?
No, he's just Irish.
That should be gold you've got
It's a
there.
little racist.
Give it
Sorry.
here.
Hold on, I have to look this
Friend
up.
with weed is a friend indeed, but the best friend, I'm told, is a friend with gold.
Hornswoggle. He's called Hornswoggle.
I like that the twist was that the government just repeats its own propaganda again. It's like,
No, seriously, this is the truth. See?
Well, I mean, I leave it open to be like, you can either believe that there actually are no secrets or there are, but then the twist at the end is that because Sarah Huckabee Sanders is about to deliver this shocking statement that you're probably not going to believe it.
well, yeah, live on the air,
Yeah.
all will be revealed. You know, what they told you was the truth actually ended up
being the truth.
basically.
Ric Flair's disgusting.
Oh, he's from all indications
Because they're trustworthy, right?
Yes.
Always
generally.
trust your local warmongering government. You know,
Yes.
they have your best interests at heart. Obviously, you're special. It's just the ones over there, the bad guys. They're the bad ones. So trust what we say, because it's not like we make like a gazillion off of war.
No,
Oh yeah, no,
None at all.
the
Not at
military-industrial complex is mostly
and leave it to them, the makers of the guns, to say, hey, maybe you guys should calm it down a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but you're like fighting countless wars and just killing so many people. Anyway,
Rotten Tomato score. Critics 89%.
We honestly expected this to be a bunch of punching, and it was, but so much more.
Audience 95%.
Ric Flair punches like he's only 55 years old.
Doris Griswold, Iowa. Budget $25 million. WWE Studios don't do things if it can't do them on the cheap. Estimated gross profit $200 million. Actual gross profit $650 million. All the enraged YouTube conspiracy theory peddlers were very upset about the movie's conclusion, and thus served as an amazing and free viral marketing tool. That's it.
There you go. Good job, Peter.
it's
Really
like,
good
it's
job.
like the Purge election year.
Yeah.
Is that this year? Or
That was the last one. The new one is The Purge, the first
I tried to
Purge.
watch it. It was
Oh, I don't like.
unwatchable.
I fell off at those heavily franchised horror movies right after Saw. I didn't do
That's
any.
fair.
I didn't do any of the Paranormal Activities or any of that shit.
That's completely fair.
But yeah, that's just the new one. And it's just I guess it's a way for you to just film violent stuff, but it always seemed kind of lame.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm almost 30. It's not this shit ain't made for me anymore.
That's
Or
right.
is it?
We have stepped out of the target age range, and now we're in the age range of targeting people.
Yeah, they make good movies like Solo for me.
So, we have the prequel. We have the sequel. It's now time for Desmond to give us a little remake.
Title: Escape from the Rock. Tagline: Touchstone Pictures, in association with Orion, are here to consensually rock your socks off.
Oh my god.
Director: John Carpenter. Synopsis: Our film begins at a graveyard, just like the original, no shit. Brigadier General Frank Hummel, Josh Brolin, walks to a grave in full uniform and kneels. Soft horns play patriotically in the background, flags waving, all that shit.
Not a day goes by where I don't think of you, but you wasn't focused. I love this country, and I love freedom. I only hope you can forgive me for what I'm about to do. Maybe now they'll listen.
We then cut to a night scene on a super duper secret military base. Crates of weapons as well as toxic chemicals are transferred from heavily armored trucks. You can tell they're super bad chemicals because they're fucking green. Out of nowhere, a group of rogue Marines led by Hummel storm the base, killing everything in sight. Everyone in sight. Yeah, I like that. Everyone in sight. An injured soldier tries to crawl away, but is stopped by Hummel.
Why?
The soldier asks, recognizing Hummel. Hummel paws at a vial of the green chemical.
This is about freedom. This is about the war on Christmas.
Oh no.
Hummel then slides the knife into the dying soldier's throat. His militia loads up the chemicals and weapons and drives off into the night.
You can get on my case for bringing up, Mr. Dog Detective.
I was getting on your case. I loved that.
Oh, okay.
I love bad references
Yeah,
to things
immediately
that.
get into Last Ounce.
Yeah. No one's mad. It's just like
Okay.
out of place, as is mine. We're unprofessional.
Yeah. That's why we're doing good.
Okay. An unspecified amount of time later, U.S. President James Marshall, Harrison Ford, takes a leisurely tour of Alcatraz in beautiful San Francisco Bay Area.
That's the president.
That's the president from Air Force One, Harrison Ford himself.
All right, I'm into this cross-pollination of
Oh, yeah.
numbers, actually.
It's the most ambitious crossover movie ever.
Okay, Infinity War.
His family stays behind in a ritzy hotel. Unlike their sociopath father, they have no interest in spooky old prisons where people definitely died horribly. Mr. President walks down the old prison, admiring rusted old bars and toilets and shit. Fun, I guess?
Actually, yes. Very, very entertaining.
I'm really glad you brought that up earlier.
Oh, yeah. There's like a dankness and a smell to the place here.
Oh,
It's like,
death.
yeah, this is an uncomfortable
It
place.
smells awful.
This
The
land is-
whole island.
Yeah.
This place is cursed.
And no joke, like after working those 2 nights in a row on there, I went home and I took a shower and I could literally hear seagulls in the shower with me. And I'm not joking.
Well,
I could literally hear them. I was like, oh man. So if you had to live there all the time, I really, because I love animals and birds, but you had to hear seagulls constantly, you crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe not. Maybe it would become like
maybe
the
that would be
ocean.
the only thing that you like. At first, you're like, "Oh, I can't believe it," but then you like over time, you like identify with it. You're
Right.
Like, yeah, it becomes the only thing that like saves you, and it's like, yeah, I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
At that moment, a Black Hawk helicopter lands on the island. Out pours Hummel and his men, armed to the teeth. Confused CIA agents approach Hummel and his 2 right-hand men, played by Terry Crews and Walton Goggins, respectively.
Stand down, soldier. We weren't informed of any military presence during the president's visit.
Hummel then shoots the agent point blank as Terry Crews and Walton Goggins unload on the rest in an excessive display of needless violence. Walton Goggins snickers in typical backwoods hillbilly fashion. They go deeper into the prison and find President Marshall now hiding under one of the cell beds, spooked by gunfire. Hummel picks him up by his collar.
Were you insane? I'm the president of the United States. You'll be executed for treason.
Hummel then punches the president unconscious.
I've heard enough out of you. Bring up the radio, boys, and secure the perimeter. It's time to make our demands.
At FBI headquarters, a call comes in on the radio and is received by Special Agent Ernest Paxton, that was his name, David Harbour. He demands the caller identify himself. Hummel cuts to the chase.
Agent, I will be brief. My name is Francis Hummel. My squad and I have overtaken Alcatraz Island and have the president held hostage. Our demand is $1 billion. Hummel, I know you. You're a decorated American hero. And this is for all the men who died in my command on secret, unacknowledged missions.
Is that what they're called? I don't know military speak.
That's fine. We know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
It's classified.
It's okay.
No, I'm just
classified
saying.
missions. No shit, that's what it would be.
No, I'm just saying it's classified. I actually can't tell you what they're called.
Oh, yeah. The name is classified.
So it's actually not. They're not called classified. But I
Right,
can't
right.
tell you what they are called because that is classified.
It's like when you have a word that doesn't translate exactly, you know?
Yeah.
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 And this is for all the men who died in my command on secret, unacknowledged missions. This is for the unjust war you started. The war on Christmas. What the hell are you even talking about?
I forgot it was about the war on Christmas.
I doubt a pencil-pushing noob like you would have any knowledge of Operation Black Friday. Oh my god. But we will be compensated. All the families of my fallen men who never got closure. If you do not meet my demands in 24 hours' time, I will execute the president and launch VX gas directly into the heart of San Francisco. Make the right choice, Agent. I'll be hearing from you.
Meanwhile, on a San Francisco rooftop, FBI chemical weapons expert Stanley Goodspeed, played by Tom Cruise, engages in an awkward, fully clothed love scene on the rooftop, on a public rooftop space with his girlfriend Carla, played by Cameron Diaz. Vanilla Sky, I think, whatever. Red Wine plays.
I forgot about that terrible love scene.
Suddenly, Goodspeed's neighbor, Johnny Legs, interrupts the intimate moment.
Waka waka waka, it's your favorite neighbor, Johnny Legs. Sorry to interrupt this inappropriate display of affection in our apartment building common area, but the FBI are downstairs looking for you, Stanley. Seems real important. Might I also add that 6:30 p.m. in mid-July, you know when families may want to grill up here. Just keep that in mind next time you have a dry hump sesh. Okay, bye.
Well done. Well done, Desmond.
What are they doing, mommy?
Without the need to dress himself, Goodspeed hurries down the stairs where he's greeted by FBI Director James Womack, played by Kevin Costner.
Jesus, you smell like PG-13 sex, Goodspeed. Get in the car. We'll brief you on the way.
It actually smells like Axe body spray.
After a lengthy 7-block drive, San Francisco, am I right? Goodspeed and Womack exit into the FBI headquarters.
Operation Black Friday? What the hell is that? Never you mind that. I'm sending you in with the top Navy SEALs in the country to rescue the president and retrieve the gas.
Goodspeed looks noticeably uncomfortable by this.
But, sir, I've never been in combat. My specialty is toxic gases. I've never fired a weapon. You'll be fine, boy. The SEALs will have your back.
U.S. Navy SEAL Commander Anderson, Bruce Willis, walks up to meet Goodspeed.
You got nothing to worry about, kid. You're a good guy. Good guy. We got your back. You need to take the edge off? You need a beer? A couple shots? Casual speedball? Before a mission? I'm just fucking with you, man. You're a good guy. You're a good guy. I got my eye on you, but you're a good guy.
I like your Bruce Willis.
Hot dogs and French fries.
Oh, it's playing right now.
Ooh. Womack. Because I don't know if anyone can tell the difference between any of these voices at this point.
There's one other fact of this mission you gentlemen should know. Breaking into Alcatraz undetected will be quite the task.
Undetective? Yeah.
Mr. Undetective.
Mr. Undetective.
Will be quite the task. We're bringing in the best special forces operator to ever have lived. Didn't you just say that's what these guys were?
We then cut to a montage of an older, gruff man being escorted out of a prison cell as Womack continues via voiceover. Voicemail. Yeah.
He's the only man to have escaped from Alcatraz. He escaped from New York. He escaped from L.A. Oh, shit. Oh. He was going to escape from Earth, but that never came into fruition. He stole a microfilm 20 years ago, and we've had him locked up ever since. Now his country must call on him yet again. You don't mean? That's right. Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Two prison guards then arrive in the room with Snake, Kurt Russell, in chains. He looks aged and gruff, but still cute as hell.
Long time, Womack. Finally ready to put me down?
Womack explains the situation to Snake as the two trade insults. Snake's apathetic attitude infuriates Womack, but Snake eventually accepts the offer. Lead the crew of Goodspeed and the commandos on their mission to break into the rock, save the president, and disarm the gas. In turn, Snake will be pardoned and granted his freedom.
And don't you even think to try to flee, Snake. The Kraken enlisted in 2002 and lays dormant, guarding the bay. You've instructed him to destroy you on command. Never did care much for Pulpo.
The ragtag group gear up and are transported to the port to infiltrate Alcatraz from the water. They swim up through a dilapidated section of the prison, but the door to gain entry won't budge. The only way to the other side of the door is through a furnace and several large whirring metal gears, which Snake maneuvers with ease,
Wow.
to the amazement of Bruce Willis.
Wow. Nice.
Welcome to the Rock.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the audience cheers. Yeah! That's where the 40-year-old men in the theater for the remake are just like, yeah!
I know that line. That was the movie that I saw. He said that.
Part-time.
Part-time.
Snake and the commandos storm through the cellar of the prison. Goodspeed looks sick.
You ever fire that weapon? Not since the academy. I'm a fucking chemical weapons expert, man, not a soldier. Well then, just stay in front of me.
Meanwhile, at the top of the prison, Terry Crews reports the breach to Hummel.
Damn it, fools. Take the rest of the team to eradicate them.
Hummel punches the president again.
Your Washington brass have doomed those men. I didn't want this.
Marshall spits out blood.
What is it you want then? Compensation for the war on Christmas.
I always forget.
1998, the North Pole, Operation Black Friday. We were sent in to secure an outpost overtaken by a Siberian militia, but instead we found Santa's workshop, reinforced like motherfucking Castle Grayskull. None of us wanted to go to war with old Saint Nick, but you gave the word. It was a bloodbath. The elves and reindeer were the most fierce warriors I've ever faced. They wiped out my entire team and took me captive. I was held for over a decade before the military traded me for Frosty the Snowman. When I was returned, I was heralded a hero, but my comrades died for an unjust cause. Well, I never sanctioned those missions.
The two hear gunshots from the basement.
That blood is on your hands.
We cut to the basement level of the prison, where the Navy SEALs, Bruce Willis and all, are dead. Snake and Goodspeed are noticeably absent. Walton Goggins inspects the carnage, snickering like a total psycho hick. All of a sudden, Snake drops from the rafters and knifes him through the top of the skull. Terry Crews then comes in and begins scrapping fist to fist with Snake. Crews eventually gets Snake in a chokehold, but is quickly shot by Goodspeed in the back. Terry Crews rolls over dying.
Gotcha, fucker. It's not too late to do the right thing. Where's the fucking toxin? Attached to a rocket in the lighthouse.
I love Terry Crews.
He's great.
He's great.
Snake dusts himself off. Goodspeed looks disturbed.
Well, what? You gonna say thank you? No.
Hummel then pages the now dead Terry Crews via walkie-talkie. Upon failing to get a response, he begins to panic, realizing his team is now dead. He collects the president and makes his way to an escape chopper to abort the mission, but is quickly cut off by Goodspeed and Snake.
End of the line, Sarge.
Snake Plissken, I thought you were dead.
Only part dead. Godspeed, disarm the toxin.
Godspeed scrambles to the lighthouse to disable the gas missile. Whatever.
Hand over the president, Hummel.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Snake.
You're gonna have to kill me.
You know, we're not so different, you and I. Soldiers without a country.
Can you really pull that trigger?
Snake swiftly shoots Hummel in the head. Snake looks at the gun.
Yeah, I can.
Classic Snake.
President Marshall.
Thank you. Thank you, Snake Plissken.
Quiet, you. If I had it my way, I'd put one in your head, too.
Goodspeed then comes out conveniently with found documents pointing to FBI Director Womack's involvement with Operation Black Friday. The three then get into Hummel's escape helicopter, prepared to go after Womack. Womack packs papers into a suitcase quickly, like a shady man trying to escape would, and takes a cab to the airport, planning to flee the country because somehow he knows that they know. Fine, whatever, we're wrapping it up. He is immediately cut off by the landing helicopter Snake took. Knowing the jig is up, he exits the helicopter and begins to run. He is pursued by Snake and Goodspeed. He hops into a cable car and relaxes, thinking he's escaped. Suddenly, he is tapped on the shoulder by President Marshall, gun in hand.
Before I kill you, you son of a bitch, tell me why. Why'd you wage war on Christmas?
It was about the Ovaltine. Santa's Ovaltine.
Marshall then grabs him by the collar and throws him off the fastly moving cable car, where Womack's neck breaks immediately.
Wow.
Get off my train!
I know that line! He said that!
Oh, no, it comes down to this. We then cut to days later at an award ceremony for the heroes. Think the end of A New Hope. Everyone gets medals and shit. Marshall looks at Snake.
So, you're a free man. What are you gonna do now?
I think I'll go to Six Flags.
The end.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, that was a great remake.
Yeah, that.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
That, oh man, I love.
That was yeah.
I love the Escape from New York tie-in. Obviously,
Yeah.
How it.
Speaking of 9/11, am
Yeah.
I right?
Yeah.
Rewatched
Oh.
that movie recently.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, like right off the bat.
The motherfucking
plane flying
yeah,
into
yeah.
the World Trade Center.
That's a
Yeah.
great movie in its own right.
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's
I
an
rewatched
awesome
it
movie.
after you like said, "Oh, The Rock is kind of like that." I was like, "Oh, I've never seen that movie," and then it turns out I had,
Yeah.
had seen it.
Yeah.
before.
That nice era where it's like, yeah, we're making movies where fucking New York looks awful.
Yeah.
It looks dangerous,
Yeah.
and like we'll play off that. But yeah, I mean, everything I wrote for Snake is pretty in character.
Oh
Like,
no!
Oh, yeah,
that's
no.
perfect.
Oh, yeah, that
Like,
was great.
Perfect. Yeah.
I love I love that you spaced out the War on Christmas stuff enough that I kept forgetting
Yeah,
that it was
right.
War on
Right.
Christmas.
Tying into that
Yeah,
Night
last
Santa went crazy, Weird Al kind of vibe going on there.
Merry Christmas to all.
Yeah.
Now you're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
exactly what I was
Great
thinking.
yeah, no, and that you
Like
know, the,
Rudolph holding a rifle. I like that. Like the reindeer and elves win.
oh man, I just imagine like the reindeer like rabid like friggin' Game of Thrones creatures, and they were just like spearing
yeah.
everyone
That's even
and
better.
like yeah. God, and the fact that you tied it all in with a Christmas Story reference right at the end, the Ovaltine thing. Ovaltine.
Was that Christmas Story?
Yeah, dude. That's a thing from. He gets a.
Jesus
He
Christ.
spends like the whole movie like saving up for this decoder ring. Well, it's like half of the movie, and then he gets it, and then like the message it decodes is "Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine." He's super annoyed. Well, man, good job.
Wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
Well, ties in nicely. Good job.
That's the synchronicity, just meshing things together.
Definitely was just like
Yeah.
how we wrap this up. Oh, Ovaltine is so delicious and healthy, and it's
It is delicious.
It's healthy. It's Ovaltine.
Yeah,
I didn't know what that was about at all.
Oh.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot.
It's the Ovaltine.
So, what are the nuts and bolts behind this movie, guys?
Okay,
Yeah.
critics 42%, audiences 68%.
It's a movie about patriotism and the war on Christmas.
Phosphorus Randy, Minnesota.
Phosphorus Randy.
Budget 80 million. Expected gross profit 150 million. Actual gross profit 25 million. Quickly rushed to home video. Folks aren't really sure if this is a legit remake or one of those sci-fi Transmorphers type
the
things.
Asylum,
but
the
it's
Asylum.
the real deal, and Kurt Russell is back in true form, and
Yeah.
I would watch the shit out of that.
I would watch
They
that.
should actually remake it and just make it.
Or just
that.
make like a new Escape movie. I'd watch it.
as long as it has Kurt Russell, and I mean,
In
you
some
could
role.
you could definitely do Alcatraz. It's like
Yeah, just do, wait, isn't Escape from Alcatraz a movie?
no. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the Clint Eastwood one.
Yeah.
Escape from Alcatraz. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, there's other prisons.
but I think my
There's
favorite.
plenty of prisons.
Oh yeah, no shortage of that.
My favorite
sure
thing
to
in
that.
there, like is like Goodspeed. You're like, oh yeah, I'm scared, and he's just like, all right, get in front of me then. Fucking meat shields.
Oh,
like,
man.
It's like it gets into like Decker.
Levels
Levels of Snake.
slight Decker.
Oh,
vibe
yeah,
there,
the
yeah.
high Decker
President
show,
of
yeah.
what? That's not funny, Snake.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was sweet. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, well, that completes this episode of Prequel, Sequel, Remake. Just as a general note, we're really grateful to all our new listeners, subscribers, people who've reached out to us on Anchor, on social media. If you want to hit us up, just twitter.com/presequelcast, facebook.com/prequelsequelremake, instagram.com, prequel sequel remake again. If you like what you hear, I honestly can't emphasize this enough. We wouldn't have the success we have so far if people weren't rating our podcast and leaving reviews. Like, it really makes a huge difference. And we honestly, every time we get one, it's like, oh,
It really means a lot because you know, little people, man. Just trying to do a podcast to share some fun stuff with everyone, and the response has been really great.
Yeah.
You people all rock. And just keep engaging because it's I'll talk.
yeah, we will.
Talk to
Excessively.
me at Desmond Ports. There you go.
Yeah.
You talk to me personally.
Yeah.
About all you know.
You left that a little too open there.
Well. Next time on Prequel, Sequel, Remake.
Will it be?
We're doing Castaway next episode.
Yeah.
Next episode is Castaway.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We like doing good movies.
Yeah.
We're going to do some good movies for a little while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
so
to see how
We had a
it's tried
stint.
on.
We had a stint in that last block.
of just
There's like
bad,
4 really just.
bad.
Well, okay.
Trash.
I'm counting back. Shark Tale,
Yeah.
Train Quest.
Train Quest.
Yeah.
Spice World was probably the best of the lot, which is weird to say.
Of that block. No. Oh, no. Spice World was not the best.
Ferris
Face-
Bueller.
Oh, Ferris Bueller.
Ferris
Yeah.
Bueller.
But I don't put-
Well,
I
but
would-
Ready
that was a
Player,
good
but
movie,
Ready
though.
Player One, and then Kazam before that. If you're just talking that 4 block right
Okay.
there,
That whole block.
I mean, the listeners get it. You know,
Yeah, no.
they've been with us for a while now. They know what they're getting into. But you know, it's good to do a mixture of both. I will say I might actually prefer the bad movies because I don't feel quite as bad when I just make absolute mockery and atrocities. out
Yeah,
of
I'm
them.
gonna
But,
write political drama.
Yeah.
Use military terms.
yeah, but
I think you pulled it off.
Yeah, you did.
You pulled it off.
Super secret toxin.
So next episode's gonna be Castaway, Tom Hanks movie. If you have any thoughts about that, hit us up. We'll hear you.
If you have any problems with that, let us know as well. We'll ignore it, but
I mean, we're gonna do it.
we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
It's all about engagement.
All right, and Kazam shower sound.
Deepest blues, my hat is like a shark's fin. Deepest sauce.